Hello everyone, this is Pedro Romero reporting on the 2021 LCS Summer Split for Gamezo. I have here with me Aphromoo, the support for Dignitas, who, although they just lost to 100 Thieves to finish week one, finished with a 2-1 outing to partially be in 4th place in the overall standings. Aphromoo, how are you doing today?
Hey, doing good, man. How you doing?
Good, good, good. To start off, let's just take a quick review of this past week. What can you take away from this first week of the new summer split?
Mm. Well, now we're in, on stage, so it's a lot different environment. Atmosphere, pretty fun. First day, everybody had jitters. We saw, lots of teams not performing well, but it's to be expected since we haven't been here for over a year. Yeah. But other than that, definitely we did go T1. Last game versus 100 Thieves definitely was really hard to play our comp versus theirs. They had a better comp. But all in all, we got a lot of experience for the guys on stage.
You mentioned about that difficult comp that you face against 100 Thieves. Plenty of scrutiny has surfaced around that team revolving Abidage playing Karma. Since you just played them, what did you make of the strategy? And like, was it like very difficult for you or the team?
Oh, yeah, of course. Pretty hard to play against Karma with, buffs got going. Borrelias, all that. So they're just going to run us down, and we had boat comp into that. And, eventually, once they get the 2 items, it's just pretty much game. We don't have anything to counter. You're supposed to get a, big early game lead with the champs we had. So we had a couple plays where, didn't go our way.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. Moving ahead, the two champions that have made considerable noise in the LCS has obviously been Gwen and Viego. Since they've been greenlit by Riot to be played in competitions, what did you make of them, or what do you think of them, and how will they affect the current meta right now?
Hmm. There's a lot of flex picks going on right now. So you mentioned, Gwen and Viego, two flex, 3 roles pretty much. So those champs really, really good. And it's important, everybody can play them. They do have their pop-off moments, especially if they get fed. But overall, they're great champs, I would say. Definitely helps draft a lot. I think flexes are important if you're going to be able to draft. And those are two of the many, teams should be picking up.
One of those picks that was selected during this first week was Darius. For the jungle, we haven't actually seen Darius like be in the jungle for a while. We've always seen him like play in the top or occasionally
Mm.
mid. What was the rationale in that for you guys?
Just saw it as a good pick. I mean, definitely a really good fighter, especially versus Zhao. And being able to, Stridebreaker hook the new item, Stridebreaker, just super broken on almost all bruisers. Definitely early game menace, that's for sure. But in the end, yeah, they just outcomped us pretty much. So I think just got to fix up, comp wise, and it'll look a lot better.
Yeah. Well, in the preparation of the summer split, as you know, as everyone knows, Dignitas had a surprising turnaround. By finishing fifth in both the regular season and mid-season
Mm.
showdown. You already talked about how you mentally prepared for yourself for this new split in the previous interview, but um, for some of the other members in the team, they're stepping into the LCS studio with little to no experience under their belts. With that in mind, how did you try to help them weather through their initial nerves for the first week of play?
First week of play, I think everybody had first day jitters for sure. Just what's important is, yeah, I've been here a while. I didn't really feel the same way, so it's just important to have somebody in the game where can center everybody, chill out, have consistent comms where you're just not too high, not too low. So just it was my rule for this week to pretty much just keep everybody, in the middle, emotion wise. Yeah, we did go 2-1, lost the last game, but we have a lot more ahead of us.
And also within the start of the season is that it's been littered with NA native talent finding their way into the starting lineups. I mean, we've already
Mm.
seen Jenkins, Danny, soon, well, so far Chime. enter the fray. How much has the NA amateur scene grown compared to years past?
Sorry, you cut out. What was the last part there?
How much has the NA amateur scene um, grown compared to the to years past?
I think there's obviously been a lot more awareness taking chances on building rookies. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about if they want to do it or not. Most of the time, obviously, when you have your first split, I mean, they're going to need experience in general. Most of the time, you don't really hit the ground running, and you just fake your level instantly as a team. So a lot of teams don't really like that risk, and they'll always swap back in veterans and stuff like that. So they do need, I don't know, better scouting and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously for 2020 a little bit and 2021, a lot more teams do have rookies coming in, which is good to see because I think it's definitely healthy for the ecosystem and very important.
Do you expect to see more of those kinds of moves coming into the league in the future?
Do I expect to see more? For sure. I mean, it's already been happening. Not a lot of us left for veteran wise. I mean,
And what has well, as a generation wise, you've been playing within like near the beginning of the league, and so what was it like to see more of those younger people enter into the LCS while you're transitioning from one of you're transitioning into like one of those veterans for those teams?
what is it like being the veteran?
Yeah, like the transition from being like one of those one of the
Mm.
like one like some of the players in the pack to become like an esteemed veteran. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, obviously, when you're young, you just want to, play with mechanics and stuff like that. You don't really have macro down. I guess you just call it brain, I would say. So, yeah, just using more brain than trying to just go for risky outplays most of the time. Setting up the map, especially as a support, that's your job. And then, yeah, just as a veteran, it's important to be good foundation that your team can, consistently rely on during the game and out of the game, being able to, communicate. And I think just progressing and improving on all of those aspects, turns you into one of those veterans where you're consistent, able to communicate properly, be able to talk to people, mediate,
Mm-hmm.
all that jazz.
Mm. And so for the future of the split, with you guys now finishing the play again, with you guys finishing your first three game, sorry about that. Let me repeat the question.
Or,
With you guys playing three games to start off the split, who of the remaining pack
Mhm.
are you looking forward to facing and why?
Oh, the remaining pack. I think we're just looking forward to playing against everybody. I think the most important thing is just being able to get experience on stage. Everybody's been playing a lot different. I mean, C9 came back from the side, swapped out their AD, stuff like that. So everybody's having problems, and All Tower got benched randomly, So we just have to definitely get more stage under our belt, I would say, and just consistently perform. Fix our draft, obviously, 100 Thieves draft, freaking Exodia on their sides. So we're just doing our best and just focus on that.
And so, since C9 is returning from MSI and that they're like faltering for now, we're expecting them to come back in the near future. But with that in mind, and also the other
Mm-hmm.
teams that are performing well, such as TSM,
Mm-hmm.
um, who do you think is the team to beat in the split right now?
Oh, the team to beat the split?
Yes.
Team to beat this split, I wouldn't say there's like anybody yet. I would mostly give it 2 or 3 weeks, I would say, because everybody's playing different. I mean, first time back in the studio over a year and some, and everybody's got, jitters on stage. Some teams, or sorry, even analysts, would predict the games and that's all wrong, no one has any idea. So I would give it 2 or 3 weeks, I would say.
All right, that about wraps up all of my questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview, Aphromoo. Do you have any final words to say to the fans who will watch this interview in the future?
Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
All right, this has been Pedro Mo for Gamezo. We'll see you later.